Who got the keys to the Jeep? Vroom, driving to the beach. Top down, loud sound, see my peeps. Give 'em pound now, look who it be. It be me, and Timothy. Look like it's about to rain, what a shame. I got the armor all to shine up the stain. Boom, classic Missy Elliott. Hello, America. Hello, world. Hello, you. Hello. It's your new best friend, Cashmere, California, and this is the Pod is Good podcast, aka the Notorious PIG, episode 42. Pod is good, and all the time. If you know, you know. If you don't, keep listening. You will learn. Welcome, everybody. Today, I brought one of my guys on. I brought one of my brothers in Christ on. I brought one of my entrepreneurial brothers on. So today we will have an incredible conversation, an explosive conversation, a deep conversation about entrepreneurship, what it takes, what it involves, who's built for it. When is it over? It seems like it's a never-ending quest. When is the work done? We're going to talk about it today. So, if you're into business, if you're into entrepreneurship, if you're into excellence, if you're into good conversation with good people, you found the right place. Let's get it going. Ladies and gentlemen, Percell is in the building. How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother Jay? Not too bad, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you too, man. I see you over there. You working, you know what I'm saying? You working. This is what you're supposed to do.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing. It's all new to me. It's all new to me.
Yeah. But you're getting it. I see you over there. What city you in right now?
Long Beach right now.
Long Beach. Shout out to that LBC.
Right.
Whatever happened to that group? Let me hear you say, ooh.
That's a good question. I'm sure they're around here somewhere.
Yo, they gotta be that. That was probably like the best Long Beach song that I think I've heard. Who was that? Dove Shack, right?
That was Dove Shack. Yep.
Dove Shack. That's crazy.
The whole G-Funk era.
Yeah.
Death Row era, all of that. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We should start there. I mean, we're talking about music. We love talking about music. So let's just get into it. We're gonna talk the entrepreneurship. We're gonna talk business. Don't worry. Y'all see my man he's at the desk, running conferences. He handling things right now. But let's take a little time out from business, talk a little music. I normally wait, I let people kind of get into the show a little bit before I hit them with the top 5. But for you, we're just gonna jump right into it.
Top 5 what?
I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
How I'm gonna do it?
My pen and pad for this one.
I'm gonna make it a little tough for you.
All right.
Make it a little tough for you. Top 5 rap groups.
Rap groups
of all time, not crews, not cliques, actual groups. Top 5 rap.
So my number one.
So like Cash Money doesn't count, but the Hot Boys count.
Okay.
So I'm saying like they gotta be a group. Let's say this: they had to at least put out one album together.
Okay.
And I know the first people that popped into your head, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, it's okay if you start off with Crisscross. Cool. Because they count.
That's my
Crisscross
number 5. That's my number 5. No, my number 1 is ultimately, it's gotta be Tribe. For me, it's personally Tribe. That's the crew I always wanted to be a part of.
Hello.
That's the crew that just they did it for me.
Yeah.
Tribe. Number 2.
Tribe Called Quest.
It's gotta be
Wu-Tang. I've been saying Wu-Tang is like the Wu-Tang logo is like is to hip hop what the Jordan logo is to basketball.
It's the sneakers, yeah.
Like, it is the widely the widest. What am I trying to say? It's known all over the world.
globally.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like the universally known logo that represents the entire culture. Like it don't just
Right.
represent the sneaker; it represents just
Right.
basketball. You can put the Jordan logo in the middle of a field, and people are like, "Oh, they're about to play basketball here." It's like
Right.
Wu Tang.
Exactly. And if you go probably overseas somewhere, you see somebody with that T-shirt on, with that symbol, you know, okay, this cat listens to a certain genre of hip hop.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know, and
Yep.
I could probably vibe with that cat. I know
Yep.
he listens to Wu. Nowadays, he probably is listening. He might be listening to Sky Zoo or
Mm,
or something. But yeah, he's listening to some
right.
some real hip hop.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. He
you
he
know,
can sonically he doesn't need standard kicks and snares. He could take some pots and pans and concrete
right,
cracking. He could take some of the
right,
early RZA production.
right, exactly, exactly.
All right, so we
Um,
got Tribe, Woo,
got
who's
Tribe.
number three?
We got. We go with De La.
Ah,
Gotta throw De La in
De
there.
La.
Wu
De La
and Wu and
Soul.
Tribe might go back and forth between 1 and 2, but I'm gonna stick with Tribe because they always been dear to my heart.
Love Tribe.
Tribe, Wu, De La, Group. Gotta throw Outkast in there. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
number 5. That's hard because now I'm only down to one selection.
I know, and you haven't put crisscross in, so keep that in mind.
Uh, I'm struggling right now.
Keep
I'm
that
like,
in mind when you get to this number five spot, because I don't know
hmm.
who else can go above them after Outcast. I mean, it's like kind of rolls off your tongue, like Outcast, crisscross. You know what I mean?
uh, who else?
Oh, Tribe Called Quest at number one. Shout out to Q-Tip. Rest in power, Fife. When was the
Man,
last
I'm
time
kind
you heard Fife sloppy? Lyrics anonymous, you never hear me copy. Top notch,
of
baby.
right.
Come on, man.
My ear is kind of my ear is kind of leaning towards Jay Dillis. I'm gonna go with Slum.
Nice.
Got to put that there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Slum.
that's probably my cause I'm on the spot right now and I'm thinking, but I'm like, yeah, that's my top 5 right now. I'm gonna say if I had to study it a little bit longer, I may throw somebody else in there. But
That's
yeah,
that's
right now,
that's a hard list though. That's a
yeah,
hard list. That says
yeah,
you can tell it the same way that you just said. You see somebody with a Wu Tang shirt on, you already kind of know something about the vibe of the music. You ask somebody their top 10, tells you everything you need to know about them as
yeah,
as a music lover. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like I know for a
Uh,
fact that if I come and jump in your car, I don't got to bring my headphones. I know you gonna play the right selection. I already know, even if it ain't hip hop, because that's the
yeah,
beautiful thing about music. It's that voice that translates, throughout. And so the genre might fixate on this sound, but the
right,
energy of it will cross over into rock, into country, into
right.
R&B.
Yeah,
Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right about that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I
All
love it. That was a good one. That was a good one. Okay,
right,
okay. I see we need each
top
other.
five, top five. What else? What else?
You want another top five?
Another top 5. I got that one down.
You got that one. All right, all right. Well, let me make it. I was gonna say top five female rap groups, but then I feel like it's only really
Mm,
five that killed it. So I'm gonna just say top five female rap artists, soloist of all time.
mm. I come from a certain era. I come
Okay,
from the original.
there we
So,
go. I
but
hear
but
some
but
names already. Here we go.
compared to a lot of the female artists nowadays, no disrespect, but I think if she began when she began or she began today, MC Light would definitely
I
be,
knew it. That was the first name that popped
you
in my
know,
head. Light.
MC Light would definitely be something that she'll be a problem
Oh
for a
yeah.
lot of female.
Light
Uh,
is nasty right now. Like Light
now,
still
exactly.
rapping, still
You
fire.
know, I can listen to Cha 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 at any given moment, and it got my head nodding, like
Cha 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 to
So,
this Mardi Gras. Dopest female
right.
that you heard thus far. Who gets
Oh,
better? The flow gets
what?
wetter. Nobody gets
Uh,
hurt as long as you let her. That's fire. She's crazy.
MC Light. I don't know which order these go in, but MC Light, Lauren Hill, she's
Lauryn Hill.
definitely in.
Lauryn Hill is so
Uh,
dope because she always makes everybody's top female rappers without a large body of work, really.
right,
But
yeah,
but the
right.
body of work
They,
was
what,
so
three albums?
potent, huh?
They had 3 albums. Fuji's had 2 albums or 3 albums.
Fuji's had I think two,
I think two
and then
albums,
she had hers.
and then she had hers. Yeah.
And she did. I mean, she did a lot of rapping on even the Fuji's album. Even if I feel to me, my recollection, I have to go back and listen. Um, but it seems like she did more rapping on the Fuji's album than she did on the
Uh,
Miseducation album.
true. True. Yeah.
Yeah, but fire.
Yeah.
I get mad frustrated when I rhyme. Think of all the crews that tried to do this for all the
Man,
wrong reasons.
listen to that all the time. Yeah.
I'm
Man,
gonna
what's
start the next podcast with that one. Seasons change, man. Things
okay?
change. It stays the same like the love
MC
doctor
Light,
change.
Latifah's got to be in there
Queen.
because of her the work that she's put in.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Even beyond rap.
right.
Like
Even beyond rap.
yeah, like who has
Uh,
had a more illustrious career than Queen? She's
and Queen Latifah. Right.
makeup, Broadway, TV show,
Right.
movies. I mean,
Singer, as artist. It's hard. It's hard
when
to
she
measure
called her
anybody up against.
when she called herself Queen, she already knew.
Right.
She already
uh, uh, what else? Who else?
Who else?
Uh,
One more.
I just had the name on the tip of my tongue too.
So we had Light.
I was thinking of Bahamadia, but Bahamadia had what? 2 albums?
Yeah, and I don't think I heard. Maybe I heard a song. I definitely never heard an album.
She had an album. She definitely
Yeah,
had an album.
yeah. I never got a.
Man, honestly, it's so many, but they all not old school, but from my era. I'm thinking of Nikki D. I'm thinking of MC Trouble.
MC
I'm thinking
Trouble.
of
I don't know
MC
MC
Trouble.
Trouble.
MC Trouble.
Yeah, hold on. You done said a name I don't even know. MC
Uh,
Trouble.
rest in peace. She passed.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, rest in peace, Latasha Sharon Rogers.
Yeah,
Rest
she
in
was dope.
peace. Oh man, I wish I could play this online. YouTube don't let me play stuff. You know what I'm saying? They be hating. They be hating. MC Trouble.
MC Trouble. Who else? That last one's gonna be hard to think of.
It's tough. It depends on, like you said, what you.
I can even throw Little Kim in there. Little Kim is dope.
Lil Kim is fire.
Little Kim was fire.
Foxy's fire.
Yeah, I probably would have to give the nod to Little Kim.
Kim.
But Foxy was dope too.
Hard. That's a good top five. It's a good top 5 females too. All right. So you did rap groups, you did female soloists. All right, we good. Congratulations.
Right.
You are the first guest to conquer 2 top 5s back to back, same episode. I give credit to you, my guy.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, so tell me how, because I know things like we talked about have some kind of connective tissue with each other, and so I'm pretty sure there's some parts of your love for hip hop that translate into your desires for your t-shirt business, right?
Okay.
Like there's some kind of connection, whether it's just the entrepreneurship, whether it's the independent work, whether it's just the grind, you know what I mean, or coming up from the bottom, whatever it is.
Right.
What got you into this space of building an online retail shop.
Okay. The love of hip hop has just always been there since a little kid. It's kind of like I forget what song it is, but a quote from Common where he said, I do what I supposed to for the culture. So
Yeah,
I do what I'm supposed to for the culture.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
T-shirts are just a big part of society, but also a big part of I guess you could say the hip hop culture. And the hip hop culture is dear to me. Seems like it's the only culture here in America, maybe on Earth, that's shows love. Like you
mm,
got love, just genuine love for everybody, love for hip hop. Hip hop loves you back.
yeah,
Don't get me
yeah,
wrong. There's a lot of things that can be fixed, that can be done differently in the culture, and some things that we don't want there. But
yeah.
for the most part, when I go to different shows, I go to just recently went to a show in LA. It was Madlib, it was Talib. They brought out Madlib, brought out Blue. He brought out
Wow.
everybody from his crew. You know,
Yeah,
just the crowd. I'm looking around. It's just diverse. It's all ages. It's all ethnicities. It's no fighting. It's no nothing. Everybody's just vibing out. And I'm like, it's Asian. It's
yeah,
Hispanic. White. It's black. It's everything. And I'm like, where do you get love like this at? Nowhere
right,
else other than in the hip hop setting. You know. So
right. And
yeah.
and and I'm gonna add to that. I feel like people need to know there's a difference in saying that there's love
uh,
and they're saying that there's acceptance.
right. Right.
Because you can get these different groups at maybe a rock concert or a country concert or something like that. Like they might be there, even R&B,
Right.
but there's a difference in love like embraces you a little differently.
Right.
Acceptance allows you to show up at the barbecue. Love be done reached out to you to make sure you come to the barbecue.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Love at the hip hop show. Somebody step on your shoe. You're like, oh man, it's no problem. Don't worry about it, bro. It's not
Good.
the type of vibe here. It's all
Yeah,
love, or whatever.
yeah,
So I don't know, it's just different. Like you say, it's a difference. It's a difference between the two.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but I don't know. Just earlier, I remember like back in high school, I went to this. Me and some friends, probably my parents was with me. I don't know, but went to this event out in LA. I bought these two T-shirts. One, if I remember, one said respect the black woman,
Hmm.
and another one said something else. I liked the shirts. I bought them, and I would wear them to school. And I just started to realize like people would look at the shirt and like I noticed that people were paying attention to what I had on. And she's like, wow, okay. People were paying attention to the shirts I'm wearing. Never paid attention to it. Years down the line, it kind of came back into my mind, like, wow, t-shirts, they can be powerful. They can
Mm.
say a lot without the person having to say anything.
Yeah,
You can say a lot with a t-shirt that shares some commonalities between people.
right.
Um, Different ethnicities can share an idea that people may agree about.
True.
Um,
True.
so I just wanted to merge that, I guess, like the social aspect of t-shirt design, with also the hip hop culture, which is the graffiti, just
Mhm.
um the dopeness of hand drawing something,
Mm.
um,
Yeah, yeah,
making it appeal to our culture, people that love hip hop, and not just people that love hip hop, but people across the world in our country may see something that draws them. Something. What am I trying to say? Something that we share, an idea that we all share.
yeah.
So basically, came from that,
Okay.
if that
Tell
makes
me
sense.
about some of your designs that either you're working on or that are complete, or even ideas that you might have. You don't got to give any of your
No,
designs
I got
away.
to.
I'm not saying give your designs away. So if you feel like I can't tell you this one because this one's gonna change the game, then don't tell me. But if it's something that you already got in production or something like that, I'm just trying to understand like some of the inspiration and whatnot.
let me say it like this. Um, so what we are doing is taking like um, just everyday topics that you may see in your everyday life, that I talk about all the time when I'm in the grocery store. When I hear the elderly people talking to the cashiers, I'm paying attention to what I hear them saying, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with that, what you're saying. But how can I take that and put make that into one image, put it
Mm,
on, and as soon as you see it, you get it.
right.
Soon as you
Uh,
see it, it makes sense. As soon as you see it, you feel it.
yeah.
And now that I can't share it, I would love to come back in a little bit, once I have the website up, and and show you everything that we're working on,
Dope.
or
I
a
love
couple
that.
of times. Hmm.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Um, yeah, sorry, there's a little bit of a delay, so I didn't know if you were done or not. So okay, you're gonna show us later. I appreciate top secret. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the top secretness of the movement. Um, that- that's always a good thing. Some I didn't know if you already had some shirts, that were already in production or whatnot, but I completely get it. Completely get it.
Yeah,
So
no, I
your
didn't bring anything.
inspiration. So your inspiration comes from like day to day life conversations, things that you feel like easily resonate with people in their day to day goings ons.
Yeah, everyday topics, everyday situations. Got some designs that focus around politics. Got
Mm,
some designs that focus around religion, not religion, but the walk, the everyday walk with us in Christ.
mm.
Um, uh, Family, world history, American history. Um, we're going to touch on a lot of different things,
I
and
like
just,
it.
yeah, just try to get these real images put on shirts, and not to say bring people together, but just show everybody that, hey, we kind of all have something in common, or
Hmm.
feel certain ways about certain things, that we kind of share. We're not too far apart as what society or the country or the media makes us out to be. You
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Yeah. Not too far apart. That's a good shirt. Look at
yeah.
that. You just pull it out. Just boom. Just take
You can have
I can have that one.
that.
I like it. I like it. So are you doing your own designs? You have designers that work with you. How's that working?
No, no, I'm not doing. So we come up with the ideas, and then I worked with Illustrator to draw for me.
Okay. All right. And so this
Yeah.
being a
And
startup, sorry, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say that took me a while to try to figure out, like, how can I get. I got all these designs that are coming to me, and I just jot them down and I write them down. But like, how can I get this design from off this page onto a shirt?
Mm,
So it took me some time to figure out, like, oh, okay, I need somebody to draw for me, but not anybody. I need like a professional um, artist to draw for me. So that's just another shout out to any kids out there. Like, man, if you got a dream, if you that passion, the desire that you have, it comes naturally. You draw, and it just comes naturally, man. Pursue that gift, because that's your gift, that's your passion,
yeah.
and there's work out there for you. You know, People like me need somebody to draw for them. Graphic design companies, you can take that passion and turn it into a career. It's
True.
no end to what you can use to make a career out of something nowadays.
Yeah.
Um, mhm.
Yeah. No, that's factual. It's really good to
Yeah,
to remind people that sometimes when things come to you like very natural or very easy, you kind of feel
right,
like, well, anybody can do this. That's why it comes so easy to me. Like it's low hanging fruit. But in reality,
right.
it just comes to you so naturally because it's a gift that you have.
Because
You
it's
don't have to
a
put
gift,
in a lot of effort.
right? Don't toss it to the side.
Yeah.
Pursue that.
Yeah.
You never know where the road that you're on.
Right.
Just follow that passion. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a fact. And so you being still a new company, a new startup. I know that comes with, the growing pains, the hurdles, the questions, you know, all the complications of how, like you just pointed out, how do I get this design from in my head to on paper to in somebody else's head
Right.
to on the actual product? And sometimes in all
Right.
those transition points, you might lose something, you know what I mean, from the original idea. And so, how are
True.
you able to um, keep that consistent from thought to product, but going from you to another person? And do you do a lot of editing? Do you kind of open it up and you're like, I'll accept your interpretation of what I'm saying? Like, how do you deal with that part?
There's a lot of editing. It starts off with the first general idea, and what me and my guy that draws for me. It's a lot of back and forth. Like we start off with just the general idea, and he'll send it back to me, and then like down to the hand movement, down to the way the feet are turned, the position the guy is in or woman is in or whatever it is in, the head movement. You know, we'll talk about it. I'll send it back to him. Um, he'll do a little bit more drawing or a little bit more editing on it, and this is all like being done freehand. And then he'll send it back to me, and then we look over it some more. And I think I'm overly patient, like and overly analytical. Where I might take too much time looking at things. But I'll sit on something for a couple of weeks, just looking at it, and then thinking, okay, this could be done this way. This could be done better this way. I'll send it back to him. He'll work on it, send it back to me. So it's a lot of back and forth.
Wow,
Um,
wow, a lot of
yeah,
communication.
at least for me, it might be easier for somebody else, but for me, I don't know. I've always been like a quantity, quality over quantity
I get that.
type of person. I'd rather have one good thing than many things that are just okay.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
yeah. I can respect that. I can respect that.
Hmm.
So that's interesting that kind of notes that, especially in the beginning, maybe even just throughout business, there's a need for um, strong communication, effective communication. Whether it's deadlines, uh, creative ideas,
Right.
management approaches. It could be anything that requires a lot of
Hmm.
communication in business. Um, so let's kind of go into your business as it is. So you have yourself, you have an illustrator, um, to someone else that might be putting together their own t-shirt business or clothing business. Was that something
Hmm.
out the gate that you went straight to, or did you first try to start doing it yourself? How'd you find your illustrator? How'd you get that part of the
Uh,
company, together and moving the way that it is now?
so honestly, this has been a project that I've been passionate about for probably close to 10 to 15 years,
Wow.
and I just been sitting, yeah, like I was always like, I want to do this, but I don't know where to get started.
Mm,
So I would just sit there, just try to figure out like eventually, um,
yeah.
until I start getting kind of impatient with myself. Like, dude, this is not gonna happen unless you get up and make it happen. So I just pray about it. Eventually, I feel like the Lord led me to an art school, and I went to an art school. They had an art exhibit for their students, their graduating students, and that's where I
Yeah.
found the illustrator that I
Nice.
work with. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
And it was several different illustrators, different artists that I came upon, but this guy was one of the ones that hit me back right away, and he jumped on it, and he was kind of hyped about and interested what of the vision I had. So we just hit it off, and been working with him ever since. Things kind of got kind of slow because I've been doing other things too, my day to day. But so it started off there with the ideas, and then I'm moving along with these ideas, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have the business part of it taken care of. So then I have to go back,
Mm,
like okay, the company name. Let's start with that I started out with. I changed the company name twice. 3 times. But then I have to register it with the state of California. Um, uh, I had to go purchase the domain name for the company, like get all the A's and B's of
Yeah.
running a business
Get your structure down.
uh, up and get the structure down.
Yeah.
Apply for my federal tax ID. Um, I needed a seller's permit so that I could buy merchandise and resell it, or just sell items when I'm out and about. Um, what else? Like for that, I was using a my own personal address for everything for the business, which I learned some friends put me up on that I needed. It would be good for you to get a virtual address and a phone number
Yeah.
so that my home address is not on everything that you put out there. Because once you go public with your company, that address that you use is out there for the world to see.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want people showing up at your door like, hey, can I get an extra large shirt? At 3 in the morning. So
All right.
it's kind of good. Um,
And now let's talk
uh,
about that real quick because I've been indifferent about the idea of what you need in the beginning to start a
mhm.
business. And
Okay,
and I struggle with it because when I have an idea, it's like I'm ready to go. And so all the things
I
that
know
I think about are
that
like,
happened.
yeah, so it's like all of the things that I like really focus on is what number one gets this idea into completion or into production, and
Uh,
two, what gets it from production in my possession to whatever my client is in that idea to their possession. So whether it's a shirt, a podcast, a service that I'm offering, whatever gets it from me to them fastest, like
uh,
that's all I'm focused on. And then
okay.
and so oftentimes I find myself not doing a lot of the business structural legwork maybe
Mhm.
until later,
Uh-huh.
sometime depending the idea, maybe not at all. So what
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the things that you did? And I'm gonna be honest, for me, I feel like sometimes when I'm doing that, I'm like I'm being busy for the sake of being busy. Like I'm staying away from the
Mhm.
other work that
Uh-huh.
that I need to do to really like get it in production. I'm kind of just like doing the I don't know, the easier stuff to me. You know what I mean? For
Right.
me, but it's stuff that needs to be done. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Right. I wish I had laid the foundation for the business first,
Mm.
but I didn't know, what to do
Yeah,
first. I didn't find that out until later. Like I started out with the artistic approach,
yeah,
and then moved to the business end of it years afterwards. I should have started out probably with the business approach first, so that when I hit the ground running, everything is already in
it's
order,
all done.
and I could just on the artistic approach from here.
Yeah,
So now I started with the artistic approach. Then I had to stop and say, okay, I need to lay this foundation for the business so that, you know, um, family member once told me that the worst thing you want to do is put something out there, and it take off, and say you got a hot item, but you're not prepared for it. You're not prepared to produce it for the masses, and you can be hot for a day and then fizzle because you didn't have the business end
true.
ready to handle everything.
Yeah,
So that kind of that, not to say it's stopped the artistic approach because we got a lot of stuff written down and whatnot that we're working on, but it kind of slowed the artistic approach down a little bit. Now I want to start getting back to that. Now that pretty much everything is taken care of, except for my website, which is about to begin being worked on shortly. So I think that's the last piece that I need, and once that's said and done, I'll be good to go. Um, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
And so right now it sounds like you're like the business hub. Like you don't have other partners with you, but you're kind of like getting different services, other talents to work to build the business from its infancy.
yeah. That's correct. Like I just needed somebody to help me. to help build a website for me,
Yeah.
um, and make it sustainable and make it nice. I found a company for that, um, and then pretty much everything else I've been doing on my own. Um, and it's taken longer for me personally because I'm the type of I have been the type of person that when I don't know what to do next, I kind of just sit there and just wait until it comes to me, and that could be a bad habit. But it's been my method of over the past couple of years. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, we all
Mhm.
have our roadblocks, you know. I mean, we all have our pain points in productivity. Some,
Right.
you know, some it's from the moment they have an idea, they only want to get off the couch. You know, others
Yeah.
can get a lot of stuff done, but then when it's time to get it out to the world, you know, everybody
Uh-huh.
has something. So
Right.
what are yours? What have you identified as like the areas of greatest opportunity for you as an entrepreneur as you've kind of gone through this process?
The areas of greatest opportunity.
Yeah.
Um, as far as what?
Like meaning, you know, is it procrastination? Is it or being organized?
Oh,
Is it communication style? You know, everybody kind of has something that might kind of limit them that they feel like, man, if I can get this thing or these two things a lot better, I would be a much better entrepreneur.
I would say definitely procrastination has been one for
Hmm.
sure. That's always with me. Just overthinking, thinking too much instead of just moving and taking the idea, or thinking, not to say thinking it's impossible, but just thinking too much, overthinking things,
Hmm.
instead of just moving. Procrastination has definitely been one. And then, like I recently discovered a term from a pastor that I listen to a lot, about the grasshopper complex, and
Hmm.
it's just looking at your problems as if they are too large for the Lord to help you with. Uh,
Hmm.
like these problems that not even problems, but these things that I see in front of me. Like, how can I ever achieve that? Um, what is it going to take for me to get through that?
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. I don't
Yeah.
even know who to contact. I don't even know who to contact for this. I don't even know what I have to do for this. So instead of just steady digging or even reaching out to somebody for support or help, kind of just sit there and
Hmm.
just feel like you're just waiting, like it's going to come to you eventually, and that could take 2 years.
True.
Just for one little simple thing.
True.
Just like for me to find I sat there for a long time wondering like, okay, I know I got all these ideas that I want to do, but I'm gonna just keep writing stuff down, not knowing that I can just go to an art school, um, and find somebody to draw from, not a hungry, starving student, but somebody with the talent that
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
easily do it for. Um, so definitely procrastination and fear. Fear has been and not a fear
Mm.
of
That's a
failure,
huge one.
but just like a fear of reaching out and asking somebody for help, or
Ah.
something like that. Just saying I don't know what to do next. So
Yeah. That's big.
instead of reaching out and asking somebody for help, you just sit there and just go in circles.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
being out there in the wilderness, just wandering around aimlessly, like how do I figure this out? How do I get through it? And you're going nowhere.
Yeah.
So procrastination and fear, that type of fear. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can actually see those things like chasing their own tails, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right. Exactly.
procrastination leading to fear, fear leading to
Right.
procrastination, and it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be
Or,
a vicious cycle.
yeah. And I guess after 10 or 15 years, that's why I'm here. Even
Yeah.
though I'm not gonna say it's where I'm supposed to be. I could have done this a long time ago, probably, but
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a lot along the way. Still. So I'm not upset about it, about being where I am. It
Yeah,
is where I am. I'm still passionate about what I'm doing. I'm still want to do it. I still can't wait to reveal it to the world. But probably
yeah.
could have done it a lot sooner.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess we probably all could say that because, like you said, you learned a lot on the way,
Right.
But we can agree you probably would have learned even more. Just
Right.
like you're starting now, and
Right.
so in the next 10 years, you're gonna have way more experience and way more in your tool bag than if you still wait another 10 years,
Right.
to start.
Right.
But I get it, like that procrastination, fear. They
Mhm.
say fears kill more dreams than failure ever has.
Yeah,
It's
that's for
like,
sure.
and it's
That's for sure. And
very true.
what do I have to fear when I'm rolling with the Lord? Nothing at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Mm,
See, perfectionism.
mm-hmm.
I feel a lot of us have that. You probably can agree, especially seeing, like hearing how you sit with the design and go back and forth. There's a certain perfectionist attitude that you have that a lot of us have, and so
Yeah.
I did actually episode 0 of this podcast
Uh huh.
before I even started with episode 1 with a guest, and I was specifically actually I can show you because it's still here.
Okay.
I was specifically pointing out. Uh, you can't even see it. Oh, maybe you can. I don't think you can see it anymore. So, oh no, because I'm in lot B. I forgot I'm in a different studio today. So when I'm at home in lot A,
Uh
that's
huh.
the lot A studio.
Right.
There's for that camera.
Uh huh.
There's a readout that's right here that
Oh,
reads 000, right?
got.
And I could not figure out how to take that off. I took all the other displays off, all the other settings I've changed to where everything else is beautiful. I could not get that off. That one thing had me wait a whole extra month to
Okay.
start the show just because of those zeros.
Uh huh.
Dude, I finally started the show and I was like, forget it. I'm just going to start it. Forget those zeros. I'm just going to let it be there. It
Uh
got
huh.
to the point where, not it got to the point. After the first episode, after I did episode 0 and I actually brought on a guest,
Uh
it changed the screen to this where I
huh.
was now cut off. And all of a sudden it cut the zeros right out. And I'm
Really?
like,
And you like,
I've
yeah.
been waiting all this time just to get that off because I felt like I'm gonna not look as professional. The show's not gonna be as dialed in. It's
Uh
gonna look like, oh, you're an amateur.
huh.
All these things that I put inside of my head that everyone was gonna feel when they saw that,
Right.
and it's not an issue at all. Not an issue
Man,
at all.
my I know. I think you make beats.
Yeah,
You put beats, yeah. So back in the day, me and my brother, our crew, we were not were beat makers. We still do make beats now. But my thing was when Pro Tools rolled out. Not to say I was intimidated, but I was like, I just want to focus on making beats still. I don't want to learn Pro Tools. I don't want to learn the ins and outs of, because it just seemed difficult to me. My
yeah,
brother, my other beat makers in the crew, everybody was learning it, and I was like, I just want to stay here because this is where I'm comfortable. I'm
yeah,
comfortable.
yeah. That
So
part.
I know the ASR 10. I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah,
I don't know Pro Tools right now. That's intimidating for me. I'll let them handle that, and
yeah.
then I'll just stay where I am. Advance, and I stay where I was at. And now they're still making beats and on the Cubase and everything else, and I'm
Mm,
still like okay, now I need to go pick up Cubase and learn it,
yeah.
um, which is intriguing. Now I'm like, just certain things you just have to conquer. Certain things that's going to be in your path, that's going to be in your trail, in your way in life that you have to just you can't move or you can't go around. You got to go through them. You got to certain things you have to do to get to where you want to go.
You got to deal with it.
Yeah,
Like they
uh,
say nowadays, comfortable being uncomfortable.
yeah,
There's
definitely.
there's growth in that. There's growth, and I
Uh,
heard somebody recently say, "Do you think the caterpillar was comfortable, being in a cocoon?"
right,
You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
no, there's times to be uncomfortable, knowing that what's gonna come next is gonna make it worth it. So
right.
yeah,
And it's perfect for it. But it was just just I didn't want to go through it at the time. But looking back, yeah, I learned a valuable lesson from that.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So are you um emotionally? How are you? as an entrepreneur? Um, do you feel like it's crushing at times, like the pressure of it, to where it feels, even though you've started, you kind of want to back out? Are you do you have like a constant rejuvenation? You know what I mean, day to day that keeps you propelled going forward? How do you deal with the
Uh,
emotions of
every
entrepreneur?
every day it's every day it's like I wake up with an excitement. And
Mm,
I'm not even in all the way into this yet, meaning I'm not selling anything just yet. Um, Shortly I will be, but right now I'm not. But every day I just wake up with an idea for the company, and it's just a
right.
drive that I have passion that's still there. It's never died. So I'm like, okay, I know not to say this is my calling, but it's either one of my callings.
Hmm,
Just something that I'm
right.
passionate about that I want to get around. Um, so I'm not down about it. Just kind of just kicking myself in the rear and like, come on, man, we got to get this going. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
if this is what you want to do, if this is your calling, you got to do it. It's you can't just sit there on it. You got to make this happen. It's not going to happen by itself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna come and do it for you. You're gonna have to do it, and not only you're gonna have to do it, but you have to do it so that you can teach somebody else, and you can
Mm,
too. That's one of the things that I want this company to be about is providing for other people. Not providing, but helping other people.
mm.
However I can, and I don't know what that's going to be, um, but hopefully,
It'll show itself though.
yeah,
It'll show
definitely,
itself.
yeah. That's what I want for this to be an avenue to help whoever I can. If it's one person, preferably more than one person, but just to help as many people as I possibly can in some
Yeah.
kind of way. Not
Yeah.
just a company where I just benefit off of what I sell because people are buying it and that's just profit in my pocket. But no,
Yeah.
I want to do something different. I think that's what we need nowadays. I
Yeah.
always tell folks that I would love to be a trillionaire so I can give away like most of the money,
Hmm.
or just give it away. Just help society some kind of way. Because honestly, what am I going to do with $500 billion? I mean, it would definitely help my family, but I can help my family if I invest it right, use it right the right way.
Yeah.
A billion is not even a billion is enough. Less than that is enough. But there's a bunch of people in the world that could use some assistance some kind of way. So that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I would if you ever do, if they do that mega's a mega jackpot out there, and you win $7 trillion. I'm gonna say I had a guest on
Right.
Chris Thomas who
I
talked
thought you were
about
about to cross. I know you want to. Rest in peace. I forgot which one passed.
right. Yeah, I forgot his name too, but yeah, rest in power. Um, but yeah, yeah. So shoot, what was I saying?
Yeah, somebody on that you were interviewing, Chris.
Yeah,
Chris.
Chris Thomas, and he had an idea for reparations that was
Oh,
genius. Like
really?
like when I say genius, I'm like, yo, you need to take this to Cornell West. He's the disruptor right now. He needs to
Really?
know this idea. But he
Huh.
really, it's not like something he created on his own. He really did research and looked at how America is already paying reparations to Japan, to China, to Jews. Like there's already reparation programs that are in place.
Right.
Then those communities have an incredible um, method to how they distribute the funds.
Uh huh.
So the reason that you see, especially in Los Angeles, a lot of those strip malls that have a nail shop or a beauty shop or some wig shop or
Right.
massage parlor, things of that nature. So they have their banks. Like let's just take Japanese. They have
Uh
their banks, and their banks get these reparations. They put it inside the bank,
huh.
but then they have a criteria. So let's say you want to move from Japan to America.
Mm.
Number one, you have to choose one of the businesses in this list, right?
Uh-huh.
So these are businesses that they know are going to produce and generate income. You
Right.
can't just start your own business. You can't
Uh,
just go off on a whim.
mhm,
You got to pick one of these businesses,
mhm,
and then there's steps that you have to take to show that you're actually diligent about it. Whatever their criteria is, maybe it's registering with the Secretary of State, maybe it's
uh-huh.
building a website, maybe it's 6 months of research, whatever. I don't know what it is, but they have
Uh-huh.
their criteria. Once you do that, not only do they provide you the money to open the business, then
Uh-huh.
they have very favorable payment plans on how you can get the money back to them, but that's
Mhm.
how they keep the money in their community. So they're giving it out to the people in their community
Right.
with criteria, knowing that they're going to get it back, and then they're putting it back into the bank,
Uh-huh.
so that then they're just replenishing it over and over. So I'm saying that to say, whether we get reparations or Percell gets 7 trillion,
Uh-huh.
have some kind of method like that.
Right.
Don't just give it away.
Right. Exactly. No, I got you for sure.
You
No,
feel me? You feel me?
yeah, it's not. I would definitely have to try to figure out how to do it and
Yeah.
hands to put it in. The money that you could trust to disseminate it and get it out and make it of use. Yeah, for sure.
But that's cool, man. It's interesting how we all, I don't know what our uh overall love is for tons of money, but we all do that, even from a kid. Like, if I had
Right.
$1,000, I'd buy. If I had a
I get
million dollars,
everybody enough. Right. We all go to the store and we all get you get every flavor of now laters and I get a something like that. Yeah, I
right?
get it.
Like we've
I get
always kind of done that, and it's interesting how through maturity, your answer will grow from the things that you could get to the things
uh-huh.
that you can get for the people that you love, whether it be your friends, your family, to what you
Right.
can do for people that you don't even know. And like that
Exactly.
that elevation is like a trend. Like, no matter who you talk to when they were little, it's like, I'm gonna buy that car. Then they got a little older,
Right.
it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for me and my mom or my dad, or this for my sister, and then I'm gonna get a
Right.
house. And then later on, it's like, man, I want to like take care of people in Africa. Like, it just it always goes further outside of you. I think that's
Right.
like really cool.
Sure.
um, all right,
Gotcha.
so I know the business is, it's on its way. You know what I'm saying? It's on its way. It's growing. Um, per I was gonna say perception. Procrastination. You feel, and fear have probably been part of this
Gotcha.
10 to 15 year journey that have you in
Yes,
this
sir.
space. Um, do
Uh-huh.
you have not? But now that you've started, how does the
Uh-huh.
next 10 years look for you? How does the next 5 years look for you? Like, is there fear? Are you procrastinating right
Oh,
now? Are you procrastinating talking to us,
um,
and you should be doing something else?
no, not today. Actually, no. At first I was kind of nervous to do the podcast. This is my first time being on something live. Um, so I was fearful of that.
Hmm.
But then just I guess the spirit just started to set into me like even like when the Lord was speaking to Moses, like and then Moses was saying, I don't speak correctly. I don't. I stutter when I speak, and the
Hmm.
Lord was like, I didn't ask you all that. I just asked you to go talk for me. I just asked you all that, and I just feel like the Lord is telling me that, like I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm
Yeah.
just asking you to get going. I'm asking you to
Right.
do what I'm putting in your heart to go do.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to start. I just need you to go
Okay.
because I'm trying to do. You know,
Okay. All right.
so
With that, let's get a little deeper. Let's get a little deeper. Um, so everybody has, certain doubts, you know what I'm saying, about, themselves, or what they should be doing, or what they're on this earth for.
uh-huh,
You sound, very sure-footed in this direction. Like, how do you
uh-huh.
know? How do you know you're on the right path?
I think because it won't leave me. Um, I mean, this has just been something that's just been burning in me for the longest time,
Mm.
and it never goes anywhere. It won't leave me alone.
Mm.
Like all. Like, dude, I can't not
It
stop.
won't leave me alone. That's good.
It won't leave me alone. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I have to do something with these ideas. I have to do something with this passion.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and it's not just necessarily for t-shirts. I'm trying to start a brand too. But like I want to do stuff like I want to reintroduce kids to playing live instruments again.
Mm,
Um, in schools, I don't know how it gets schools to put live instruments back into the school systems and whatnot, but that's a big thing for our culture at least.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Uh, we sampled a lot of music from our folks, um, that in the future new hip hop artists that come along, they won't be able to sample music from our artists because we're not playing live instruments like we were before. Ron Carter, the Miles Davises
Yeah,
and on, we don't play live instruments anymore. So I would love to get kids to playing live instruments again. Um, hey, give me that horn riff, that's dope. Give me that that bass riff, that's dope. And somebody might come along in a couple of years and sample that. I'm not saying that's the way for you to make money, but hey, I mean,
yeah,
you may turn a profit off somebody's sampling your music, um, some years down the line. But I just want to just do little things like that, like get kids back into playing, live music, however I can, however, whatever might inspire somebody to,
yeah.
is what I'm trying to do.
So you kind of
Stuff like
feel
that.
like
Yeah.
you kind of feel like part of the reason that you're on the right track is that the thing that number one, the thing is not letting you go. Like you don't have to try to
Right.
think about it. It won't leave you alone. But then on top
You
of
know,
that, it somehow opens up the opportunity for other things that you're thinking of doing. Like it kind of turns into a conduit that opens up and will allow other things to flow through.
correct. Yes, sir.
That's good to
Yes,
point out. That's good to point out. And
sir.
I think that I wanted to touch on that so much because I think that is we kind of talked about it earlier with the low hanging fruit of like what comes easy to you. Then
Right.
you really touched on it again by saying it won't leave you alone. Like
Yes.
that's big. That's big. Like that says that there's something harmonious to your spirit
Uh-huh.
about this idea because you don't even have to pay it any attention and it finds you. You know what I mean? It
And it's
taps you on the
right.
shoulder when you're trying to think of other things. And
Right.
other people need to know that.
Yeah, little stuff like that. And this is not a main point. It's something I'm trying to throw out there to let me know that yeah, you're on the right track. But remember how I was talking about grasshopper, the grasshopper complex.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, man, when I was thinking about that, when that came to me, I was listening to the sermons on it.
Mhm.
I kid you not. I come home one night. There's a huge grasshopper on the doorstep
Wow.
in between me and the front door. And okay, I'm like, okay, Lord. I mean, it could be coincidence,
Nah, man, that ain't no
but here I
coincidence.
am listening to
That ain't no coincidence. That
here I am listening to the sermon about the grasshopper complex, and I come home late at night, and it's a huge grasshopper, and I don't like grasshoppers. I'm not afraid of them, but I don't, I'll walk around one.
yeah.
But it was just sitting right there in the middle of the doorstep, like just waiting on me, just looking at me. I'm like, wow, seriously?
That grasshopper
Okay.
was like, he was talking about me.
Exactly.
You're
Exactly.
welcome.
Right, thank you.
You're
Right.
welcome.
Seriously. So, it won't leave me alone. And along the way, there's just little things I feel like the spirit just speaks to me and lets me know I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track. You're on the right track, bro. Just keep going
Yeah,
and don't stop and have faith.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so here's a big
Yeah.
question. Because I think
Okay.
a lot of people probably feel like this in their areas of fear that we all experience. Um, what
Uh-huh.
what if you were wrong? What's the worst case scenario if you're completely wrong? Like you just got the communication way off. That wasn't even a
Hmm.
grasshopper. It was actually a cricket. You're just off. Like
Uh-huh.
what if you're just way off? Then what?
Then I just move on, keep moving. But don't stay stagnant.
There it is.
And learn from my mistakes. Like, okay, that wasn't what I thought it was, but there's other things that I need to pray about and move in another direction. But don't just sit here like you
Yeah.
have for the past 10, 15 years. Um, a family member, I'm not gonna say her name, but a family member of mine just recently had a knee replacement that she dealt with for probably about 20 years. The pain of like bone on bone,
Mm,
bones together. But the family member was afraid to get the surgery, didn't want to get the surgery, so lived with that pain for like 20 years of not being able to experience life, not being able to go here, go
yeah.
there, play with your kids or your
Yeah.
grandchildren because I'm afraid of what could happen or I'm afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
And got the knee replacement and now everything is fine. And the person, my family member is just like, why did I wait so long
Right.
to get that done?
How much life I missed out on.
How much life did I miss out on?
Yeah.
And now everything's fine, perfectly fine. I mean, a month after surgery, up and walking better than she has been in the past 20 years. I'm like, wow, yeah. Just looking at that story, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna let fear do that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, let fear rob me of any more life. You know?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean you hit it on the head, indirectly when you said what'd you say? You said you're not just gonna sit there like you did before. Like you're gonna keep moving.
Right.
So it's like at
Hmm.
very least you learned something. You learned to forge forward. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I asked you
Right.
that for obviously a reason because a lot of people find themselves so worried and nervous and skeptical about if they're going to be able to do it, if they're on the right track or not, if they're going to fail. And it's like,
Right.
well, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst
Exactly. But that's what
possible
we're
thing?
afraid of. Like that's what I guess that's what we're afraid of. Me is afraid of is getting to that point and you do fail or it doesn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out. Like,
Yeah,
okay, now what? You
right,
know, um,
right. But that's
that
still
can
a
rob
great,
us of
yeah, it definitely can rob us. You're right. Because it's like, well, now you know what I mean? Like now,
right,
let's say you did have this idea for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and the whole time you were wrong. Like it wasn't something you were supposed
right,
to do anyway. And then you
right,
finally do it, you fail. It's like, okay, cool. Now I got that off my back. It wasn't
right,
it.
right,
You know what I mean? Like
right.
even that is freedom. So I mean you get something
True.
out of it.
You get something out of it. Not
Yeah.
only that, but you learned a lot along the way, and now move on to the next thing with a little bit more knowledge than you had before. Maybe you can
Yeah.
apply that to your next goal that you want to reach, and you'll reach that goal a little bit quicker, a little bit
Mm,
faster.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's real. And I didn't say
Mhm.
that as any means of saying that you're on the wrong track or that things are gonna
No,
fail because I can definitely tell you moving in the
right,
right direction. But
yeah,
but again, just more I guess indirect
right,
uh mentorship for the other entrepreneurs that are watching and maybe they've
uh-huh,
had an idea that's kind of been sitting there for a long time. It's like, come
right.
on, just make a move. Make a move.
Don't stop, don't stop where you're at. Just keep going. If you get there and it doesn't work out or it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Move on to the next one.
Move
You
on to the
know,
next one.
I don't think you're only supposed to do just one thing in life. It's a couple things that you're meant and built to do. So move on to the
Yeah,
next one. Find it, but you conquered that fear. Hey, let's
yeah,
get it going. You know,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I forgot how the saying goes, but something to the effect of like success loves activity. And so it's like in just being active and constantly being um intentional and
mm,
productive whether it's a
Yeah.
small piece of production or a large piece of production, success loves to find
Mhm.
activity far more than it's ever going to find inactivity. So if you're trying to be a
Yeah.
success
That's good.
story in your own
Take
right, sorry, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
What'd you say?
Huh? No, that's good. I might have to take that from you. Success loves activity.
Yeah, man.
That's good right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, people everyone wants to be a success story, whether it's, to their family, to their significant other, to the world, it don't matter. Everyone wants some level of a success story in their dream or their aspiration. And it's like, well,
Right.
you gotta look at it like that. You can't be inactive and also be a success story. There isn't one
If you
success story that's ever had that.
it's not gonna happen. I'm
Ever.
a testament to that. Past 15 years of
Yeah.
inactivity, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You got to do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right. And
yeah.
I know we don't know your exact designs, which is cool, but what's like, and I know you're touching a lot of spaces, but what is your market? You know what I mean? Have you identified who your target market is, what your target audience looks like? Who do your shirts? I know they're going to speak to a lot of people. I can tell from your ideas, but
Uh-huh.
who's the target?
The target is the middle class, basically.
Hmm.
The target is middle class. I'm not gonna say minorities because minorities aren't just like when you think of. I think when we think of minorities now, we think of Hispanic and Black, but minority is probably anybody who makes. I'd say makes, but no, I won't even say makes, but like the middle class, minorities. Honestly, I think I can touch everybody. The youth, because of the design and the dopeness of it,
Yeah.
the way of using our culture, the hip hop culture, to draw the youth in. The topics are things that parents would care about, um, our peers would care about, that makes sense to us. And I think certain things that we're gonna draw, that we're gonna have on the shirt, a parent would love to buy for their child to wear to
Mm.
school. So I feel like I can reach the youth through that. I think it's gonna be dope enough for a kid to say, "Oh, that's dope. I like that."
Nice.
Um, um, a parent could buy it for their child, and also somebody elderly could respect it enough to say that makes sense. I like what that represents, what that shirt says. Um, so I know it's kind of broad. It's kind of a broad group to go after, but I'm trying to go after everybody. Not everybody, but the middle class. Yeah, I would say the middle class.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Your ideas sound very universal. They sound
Uh,
like, I mean, even though you're saying the middle class, I'm pretty sure the higher class could understand it, especially if they came from that. You know what I mean?
right,
Or the lesser class because they might aspire to be in that
right,
space, and a lot of it just deals with life. I will say, just as far as your business goes, because obviously you're going to spend a good amount of money in marketing, it definitely
yeah,
benefits you to tighten that scope as much as possible. That product and marketing is still going to be like buckshot. It's still going to hit a lot of people, but your
right,
target was a little more
uh-huh,
focused, just so when you're doing ads or whatever you put together, you're able to say like,
right,
okay, I can put this amount of money into being like a big fish in this small pond, than to like
uh-huh,
all of this money being a little fish in like a
hmm,
massive middle class pond. You know what I
right.
mean?
No, that makes sense. I don't know. I just feel like I can touch a lot of different people because certain designs I have are going to touch the hip hop community.
Yeah.
But then certain, the hip hop community, not to say will come to this company to say, okay, what's next? What other dope things do they have over there? But they're gonna come and they're gonna see not just hip hop, but they're gonna see something else maybe that their parents have dealt with, and they may say, okay, that makes sense to me too,
Hmm.
because my parents dealt. That's an issue that my parents dealt with or are dealing with right now, and it's designed in a way that it's pretty fly.
Yeah.
It's pretty are nice and whatnot. I could buy that shirt for my mother and my father. And they may appreciate it, and they may wear it. Who knows? But yeah,
Yeah.
so
I rock with that.
yeah.
I rock with
Mm-hmm.
that. Okay. So you said the website is next, right?
The website, yes, sir. I got to
And
pull. I can't be afraid of doing that. I've just been doing some research and looking at different companies and the work that they do. But I found this one company. They do some. I like their work,
hmm.
and I'm like, okay, don't pay attention to costs. Just just rock. Just go get it done.
And that's another thing, being a startup, that's a big part of it is managing those costs, like
Yeah.
really not overextending yourself financially too soon, but
Right.
being efficient with the money that you do spend, hoping to get back
Uh,
as many dollars as you possibly can from every single
right.
dollar you put in. How are you
Right.
managing those early startup finances?
Well, it's just been, I haven't done too much. Like, yeah, all the licenses and applications and everything have been fairly not that expensive. Like for EIN number, you don't have to pay anything for that. Most licenses and everything are just a couple of bucks, so it's not really that much. The most expensive thing I come across so far has been this next project is with the web design.
Mhm.
Um, the most expensive thing has probably been trademarking my company name
Hmm.
and trademark the logo, both separately. That was maybe the most expensive thing, and that wasn't even really that bad. Just honestly, say almost just like paying your DMV tag renewal for your car. So, I mean, if I look at it that way, it's not really that bad,
It's not that bad.
So
And
yeah,
so and,
so
and so that low cost model that you've been able to kind of follow, is that intentional? Like, have you chose not to do the things that might cost you a little more and kind of push those to a little bit later on down the road? Or has that just been the process? Like, just nothing has come
it's,
across?
it's just been a process so far, and I'm like, oh wow, this is it. This is all it took for me to get here, and like this is what I took years for to figure out. Like I could have done this a long time ago, man. If I had only knew
Right.
that this is all it took. Not all it took, but this is what it took for me to get this done.
Right.
Just that family member like kicking myself in the butt, like, dude, I could have done this a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
I
and
don't, I've only bought one pair of Jordans in my life, but I'm like, I could have just not spent that money on that pair of Jordans and then just invested that in my ideas.
done deal.
You know,
Done deal.
done deal,
And
done
so
deal. That's all.
So I noticed you've referenced the 10 to 15 years a few times, which is good. It's good for people to hear that, like, yo, this is somebody who spent, the greater part of the last 2 decades
Right.
in procrastination or preparation or however you want to
Mhm.
look, or in fear, getting to this point. So
Mhm.
from where you are now, if we kind of backtrack, how long has it been since that moment that you finally this time said, "All right, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to find a designer. This is going to happen in this last
Honest,
push."
it's still been ongoing because it's still. I would say that's. Um, I would say I started making my push maybe within the last 3 years of like just getting everything together. Um, and it's not to say dragging my feet, but just at my pace, which has probably been a little bit slower than the average person. But it's probably taken me about 3 years to get to where I am now, which I feel is just like one more step. I just need my website done for my e-commerce and everything to be sold online, and I think I'm ready to go.
That's a great point
Yes.
that we're gonna end the podcast with is exactly what you just said. Can you speak
Uh,
to pacing, like taking things at your time, and how you find the balance of doing things too fast to where you feel like you're rushing them and you're out of control, you don't have control of them, or you're dragging your feet and you're moving way too slow? How do you find that balance to move things at an efficient rate, but it's still your pace to where you're comfortable, you're in control, and you're also moving forward?
I know I talked to you before, and just like every day, if you could just do something little towards your business every day, just take like 5 minutes. Five, just think about it, write stuff down, write something down, write your ideas down, and just keep. For a while, I wasn't even doing that. Like I would have all these thoughts in my head, but I wouldn't write them down, and sometimes
Hmm.
I would forget things. Uh, but just take just a little bit of time a day, 10 minutes a day, just to research what I need to do next. I've done this. Just write all your a list of things down that you need to do and move forward to what you want to accomplish. And even
Yeah,
if you don't accomplish number one today, just learn a little bit about it so that maybe tomorrow you can get closer to accomplishing step one or next week. But next week you accomplish step number one. That's out the way. Now you just move on to step number two. It doesn't have to be overnight, but just
yeah,
constantly, just keep doing something, even if it's just a little bit at a time. Um,
yeah.
you don't have to spend 3 hours a day on trying to perfect, you know, what your dream is. But if you can just take a little bit of time towards it to move in that direction, that's progress.
Yeah.
And if I had done that a lot sooner, I would be hopefully probably would be a lot further ahead. But hey, I feel like I'm in the perfect place where I'm supposed to be right now. So yeah.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect. Yeah, your video kind of got a little choppy there, but the audio was great. So I
Oh,
heard everything. People to spend time each day, whether it be a small amount of time, a large amount of time, whatever you have, be
mhm.
consistent, give it time each day, and the path will kind of show itself to you. Like you said, you might write down something now. It's a step one. Maybe it doesn't get done until next week, but at least it's done. And
Right.
that will build on itself. You know what I mean? That will
Mhm.
kind of snowball. I do understand that.
For sure.
So man, it has been this has been a good one, bro. This has been a good one.
Hope
I
so, man.
appreciate you.
Hope your audience can pull something from it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yo,
I,
you may not realize it, just like I guess we all don't, is that your story is very familiar to a lot of people. Whether
I hope.
someone is trying to go back to school, start a
Uh,
business, build a relationship, whatever that thing is, there
right.
is some level of familiarity with fear, with
Uh,
procrastination, with now
yeah.
looking back and saying, man, if I had did this long time ago, I could have been even further. Like all of that is very familiar with a lot of us. So no, I know people definitely got a lot out of your story. Heard a lot of resemblance in their own, and hopefully, I know what you want is that they just get motivated to do their thing the same way you finally got motivated enough to get yours going.
Right. Right. I want to. I mean, if you'll have me come back, hopefully in a couple of weeks or a month or so, or however, not too long. I hope I'm ready up and ready to go in a little bit, but come back and have the finished project, the designs and everything for you to see.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. That'd be great. We can put it on the screen, show everybody the website, give them the link. Hopefully, get you a few customers right out the gate. That'd be awesome, man.
Okay,
Yeah, just
definitely.
let me know. Let me know when you live and up and ready to go, and we'll
Sure,
schedule it, man. Get you back on the pod.
for sure. Well, before we go, I need so I gave you my top five groups,
Mm.
MCs. I need your top five MCs.
Ooh, top five. I love it. I love it. He put it back on me. All right.
Well, okay. I don't know how much time we have.
Well, I'm on your time. I'm on your time. I've been looking at the clock, so I know you had moves to make. So you let me know.
Top five MCs and producers.
In one hold on. Do you mean MCs that were also producers, or do
Oh,
you mean a top
five,
five MCs and a top
two
five
separate
producer?
categories. Two separate categories. Top five
Okay,
MC, top five producers.
fire. All right, so top five MCs. I'm gonna go. I drag my feet with this number one all the time, all the time. But I think I'm just gonna have to go with the one that the moment I see their name on a project, I immediately know they're gonna elevate the project, uh, no matter what it is, and that's Andre 3000.
Okay.
Three stacks,
Okay.
three stacks at number one.
All right. Three.
Um, Number two, um, I'm gonna go. This is another tough one, but I'm gonna go with Eminem. Eminem.
Okay.
In the
Let me.
beginning, Eminem was cool to me. He was lyrical, and that was fun. But then over time, especially towards the middle of his career, towards the back end, I've kind of got a little out of touch with him. But towards the middle of his career, he really started settling into that storytelling element of hip hop that we know is so infectious. You know what I mean? To hear a story. I mean, that's what we love
Yeah.
about Biz Markie. It's like it's just a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
He
and
got some
so when
slick
he
Rick.
got to that, what you say?
I said he got some slick Rick in him.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Take a second to listen for you think this record is this, and just put yourself in my position. Just try to envision witnessing your mama popping prescription pills in the kitchen. Like that's just fire, man.
Uh,
It's so mathematically correct as a
uh,
rapper, but then it's also a true life story, not just him making up throwing his
right.
ex in the trunk. It's like this is real fire.
Right. Fire. Yeah.
Um, all right, so that's three.
That's two.
Three stacks, Eminem. I'm gonna go Black Thought,
He's on my list. Yep.
Black Thought of the Roots. Got to give it to Black. Um, I almost sometimes want to put Black Thought. I don't know if you heard his Funk Flex freestyle, but
Oh,
sometimes I want to put.
yeah.
You said you did. You did.
I have heard it. Yeah. Several times. Yeah. I got to stop. I had to stop listening to it because I listened to it for a lot. Mhm.
Yo,
That's
yo, he's one of the best. The only reason I put because you said MC. So when you say MC, I kind of put all of the attributes of an MC together, and it's not just being able to rap really well. It's also being able to tell a story, being able to
right.
create amazing songs, is being able to, rock a crowd, is being able to, be captivating,
And
all those things.
Like Guru
Say it
said,
again.
like Guru said, it's mostly the voice. It's mostly the
Right,
voice.
right.
Yeah. Up. Yeah.
All right, right. Man, I wish your video was working better. I mean, I can hear you, so
Oh,
we good there. But your video, you're just like freezing from one position to another position.
oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna stop moving.
No, all good, all good. Let's do this real quick as I finish. I'm not ducking you. Um, hang up, and we're gonna reconnect and see if that's better. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
just because I want to make sure we get it right. All right. All right, just want to make sure you want to see my guy, moving smooth and all that. He hit me with a top five rappers, and a top five MCs, which I do believe is different, and top five producers. I'm probably gonna have a harder time even with the producers. Shh, don't tell them yet. But the top five rappers, I think I got it. I think I know where I'm going in my next couple of picks. I think we'll find out. We'll find out. But I want to make sure he was right. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Please subscribe to the show, man. Follow the movement, man. Whatever you want to do. I ain't trying to take too much time. You know what I'm saying? But if you're sitting there listening to us already, you might as well just go on and click the button. I mean, it's right there. It's right there. All right, you back?
Okay. Yep.
All right, cool. Okay, perfect. Visual is good, audio is good. Let's get back to it. So,
Okay.
one, I had three stacks. Two, I had Eminem.
Um,
Three, Black
Black.
Thought. Four, Rakim.
Yeah, he got to be.
Rakim, I sometimes struggle with where to put Rakim. Rakim and Chuck D, truthfully, I struggle with both of them because I feel like they pioneered a certain sound and direction. I almost feel like you got to put them on the Mount Rushmore, and that's usually
Of
my
course.
struggle with a top five. Is like, is the top five who I consider Mount Rushmore in hip hop,
Oh,
or
exactly.
is it just who I like?
Right.
So I'm gonna go
Right.
with your thing that you said earlier about if I was on an island and had to take just an album or maybe all the albums from these particular artists, who would I
Uh-huh.
rock with?
Who would I take? Yeah.
I'm a microphone fiend. All right, so Rakim at number four, and
Ooh, you got one left.
I'm gonna round it out. I got a few names going through my head. Um,
BDK? No.
who?
BDK?
BDK.
Big Daddy?
Oh, Kane. No, no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna put Kane there. That this person, we talked about this person, and they have a style that I've always connected with, and every time I hear them, even though I haven't heard them rap a ton, when I do hear them, it's so much better than everybody else. Like it's so much on another level. We said the name earlier. I'm gonna go with the beautiful Lauren Hill.
Lauren Hill? Okay.
I'm gonna go with Lauren Hill. I sometimes struggle with Lauren and Queen
Uh-huh.
in my top five because I feel like you gotta have a lady representation in
Okay.
in your top five. That's just how I feel. And
All right.
so Queen has done a lot, but I feel
A lot.
like I attach more to what Lauren has done lyrically.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You know what I
I
mean?
feel that.
I'm very much, if you can tell from my top five, into complex rhyme schemes,
Lyricalism.
using
Yeah.
new words, flows, patterns. Like
Right.
I'm really into that. And so
Right.
so
Likewise, me
so
too.
so that five, they cover that ground for me.
Yeah. That's the area we come from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. I feel
Top
that.
five producers. Yo, I'm gonna get this started off right, and I'm gonna go with the God, Jay Dilla. Out the gate.
That should be on everybody's number
Out
one.
the gate, I'm going with
Right.
Jay Dilla, not just
Okay.
because of what he actually sat down and produced, but also
Uh-huh.
just his influence.
Right. Exactly.
People don't understand, like Jay just influenced a whole style to where
Right.
there are other producers that were
Right.
doing what Jay did. So that
Right.
deserves a lot of credit.
To this day, cats are mimicking his style. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So then I'm gonna go with my guy who I've always wanted to work with, and prayerfully one day it'll happen. We're gonna see. I'm gonna
Uh,
try to get him on the show. Maybe I'll do that. So if I can get him on the show, I can rap to him
uh,
on the show, and then
right.
maybe we can do a project together. My man Timberland.
Okay. Yeah.
Timberland.
Okay. I got
Timberland
you.
also pioneered a sound. Took that
Yeah.
go-go thing, put it into the triplets. I mean, he just what's what he did
Yeah.
with Aaliyah and Missy and
Uh
Genuine
huh.
was like something we hadn't heard before.
Yep. Jay Z. Yep. All
Yep.
the stuff he did for them. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the producers, do they have to just produce hip hop or just production?
No, because Jay Dilla didn't do just hip hop. I
Okay.
didn't like for a while. I didn't know he did the Janet Jackson cut.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Um,
the one with uh Jenny. I can't think of the name of the title of the song. I think Q-Tip was on it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing we got till it's go.
Exactly.
On and on it seems to go. Only the only know what
We
to.
got till it's
Yeah,
gone or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, on and on. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Dilla. That's facts.
Yep.
Um, okay. Then I'm gonna go with D'Angelo.
Producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
See, I slept on everything that D'Angelo has done. Then,
yeah.
'cause I know he's
D'Angelo.
done his albums, but I haven't paid attention to everything that he's done for everybody else too.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take it back because you said something that made me think about somebody. Sorry, D'Angelo. I'm sorry. Sorry. There's just this other person that did the same thing for me, and I didn't realize how much they had a part. Um, no, that was a writer. No, he was more of a writer, not a producer. I was thinking Babyface.
Okay, all right,
Like I was shocked to find out all the stuff that Babyface wrote.
yeah.
I was just like, um, and I hope I'm saying it right with D'Angelo, because now I'm like, was it D'Angelo or was it old boy from Jodeci that
Oh, not Dalvin. Devontae.
Devontae?
Devontae. He was dope. He was dope too.
All right. You know what? Um, just to make sure I'm on point, let's take D'Angelo out and let's replace D'Angelo with Pharrell.
Nice. Okay,
Let's go with
I
Pharrell.
dig it.
So we got Dilla, um, we got Tim, we got Pharrell.
Mm-hmm.
Number four,
Ooh, you got two left. Two slots left.
um, man, that's good. It's starting to get starting to get real around here. Um, Number four, I'm trying to think of who. Maybe Madlib.
That's a nice one.
Maybe Madlib.
That's a nice one. I can tell.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that.
yeah. Madlib.
He's the. I'm
He's
not gonna say he's the
underground.
new Dilla, but the new Dilla, but he is along those lines.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely, definitely. That's the tough thing about production is like a lot of production is also what the artist does,
true. Right.
and then you don't really know nowadays, especially what all is truly attributed to the producer on file. You know what
True.
I mean? Because you could have like Dre. Like I really want to put Dre in my top five sometime because of what Dre has done for the culture. But then because I, at least being in like, the industry as much as I have been,
Uh,
that's one thing I do know is that there are a lot of contributors to the
exactly.
sound
Right.
of Dre.
Yeah.
So Dre turns into more of a composer,
Right. Quincy
you know.
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like that makes it tough because then you're like, okay, well, do I still rate him as high as I would rate a Dilla
Uh,
who's in there playing everything and
yeah.
sampling everything and putting it all together himself just
Right.
because Dre has made it to a level where he can be more efficient. Like I don't know. I wrestle with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That to
Yeah.
me that runs the same line as like if I found out a rapper didn't write as much as I thought they wrote.
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like it
Yeah.
kinda it's like, okay, well,
Yeah. I get
you
that.
wrote 60% of it, but I
Right.
don't know now.
Exactly. But the other 40% somebody contributed to that, or it
Right.
started out. It started out from their idea, and then you just took it and ran with it from there.
Right.
Yeah. I get
Right.
that.
Um, so who did I just say?
Madlib.
Madlib. Okay. So I got
You got Dilla, Timberland, Pharrell, and Madlib, which is
Madlib.
that's a hard group to argue with.
So last number five, I'll put in um I know. I love this sound. What is that? What is the group? It's a group, production group. They did all of Maybach music. They did all of Rick Ross's Maybach music joints with the live church drummer, and I think they did
Uh, I can't think of their name.
okay, hold on, because I almost said Just Blaze because I got love for him, but um, even I'm gonna be honest, even
It's hard
Kanye,
to do a top five. Exactly. It's hard to do a top five.
Kanye is up there.
Yeah.
Um, Hold on, Maybach music.
Like it's hard to do a top five because I want to throw. I don't know how I could not have Pete Rock on my list.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough. Pete, yeah, that's a big one.
Kanye,
Kanye, Justice League. Justice League. That's the
Justice.
name of
Okay,
it. But
all right.
so that's a sound that I love him, a lot. But because of the body of work, I'm actually going to give it to Kanye. I'm gonna give it
Okay.
to Kanye because
Yeah.
Kanye,
Exactly. I can't like that at all. Yeah.
Kanye he's one of them.
For
He's
real.
one
I
of
hope we
them.
get some more of that, man, before it's all said and done.
Yeah, yeah. I can sit with that group. So
I can sit
rapper,
with that.
I had Andre,
M,
M, Rakim,
Black Dog,
Black Thought,
and
and
Lauren.
Lauren Hill. Now,
Yeah.
if you get them rapping over beats from Dilla,
Dilla.
Timbaland, Pharrell, Madlib, and Kanye,
That's a nice
come on,
album.
man. That's some albums right
That's a
there.
nice album. If each one of those artists got all five of those producers to make them an album, that would be a classic album.
Easy,
That would be a classic album. Easy.
easy. Oh, oh,
Imagine
easy.
that. Imagine that.
Goodness,
Wow.
goodness.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, easily. You'd have whatever commercial hits you need
right.
to kind of like push the album forward from Tim,
From Tim,
Pharrell, or
Pharrell, Kanye.
a Kanye.
Uh-huh.
You'd have your emotional joints, the ones that just resonate with people from Dilla. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's wow.
Yeah. That would be
Wow.
something else. That would be something else.
Yeah, I need since we probably will never get that. I need like a producer to like create it. Like just take some Mad Lib joints, some
Uh-huh.
Pharrell joints, and then throw Lauren Hill rhymes over that. You know what I mean? Like just create the body of work.
Right.
That's probably the closest we're gonna get
Break
to
it
it.
all up, chop it right for real.
Yeah, that'd be fire. I would just love to hear one song. Like give me a Dilla beat with a Lauren verse, a M verse, and a
Man,
Rakim verse. Like that is just that'd be different.
I'm trying to imagine 3,000 spitting on any one of these five, especially like Dilla. They would
Oh
all be fired.
yeah.
Dilla, Timbaland, Pharrell, Madlib, Kanye.
And what's dope about three, I believe, is that like he knows how to like he'll listen to it and then be like, all right, I'll do it. I'm gonna do this, but just take this out and this for my part, and then do that part and raise that up. And next thing you know, it's like the best part of the
Right.
whole joint.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Well, thank you, bro. Thank you
Yes, sir.
for
Thank you,
putting
bro.
me on the spot.
Man. Yes, sir. I
Thank you.
appreciate the experience, bro. I enjoyed myself.
Good, man. I enjoyed you too. Great
Yes,
talking
sir.
to you. Always good talking business and getting down to the real. Like we all deal with how tough running a business, opening a business,
Getting
dreaming of a
started.
business,
Right.
just getting started could actually be. And like you said, just get started because you're gonna be further along now. You'll learn along the way. You'll have your bumps and bruises.
Mm.
It's not gonna be perfect. It may not even be pretty, but the point is just begin and keep moving every day.
Right.
Keep moving.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
incredible. All right,
Yes,
man. You
sir.
know how we send it off. I'll say pod is good. You say all the time. I'll say all the time. You say pod is good. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. Pod is good
All the time.
and all the time.
Pod is good.
I appreciate you, brother. Take care. I will talk to you real soon. We'll
All right,
have
bro.
you back on as soon as the site is up.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, my
I'll be
G.
talking to you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, episode 42 of the Pod is Good podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've been motivated. I hope you've been inspired. I hope a part of you said, you know what? I can do it. You know what? Stop procrastinating. You know what? What am I scared of? What's the worst thing that's going to happen except for me learning, except for me getting this thing finally out? Whatever that is, you know what it is better than I do. You know what that thing is that's kind of just been right there, and you're like, I don't know. What if? You'll never know unless you begin. Start now. Get it done. If you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe, follow, share, like, comment, whatever you want to do. It's all free, but it means so much to us. It is invaluable in growing the channel and growing the movement. I appreciate every single one of you that watched the show. that comment, that send us emails telling us, what you enjoy, what you didn't enjoy, what other content you want. We are going to continue to try to give you the best possible podcast that we can produce. So with that being said, I'm your man, Cashmere, California, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace out.